Royal Reviewer live channel episode. Today is the 8th of May. Can you believe it? We are in May 2021. And I am back after a little hiatus from doing live chats. As always, this is a live chat, so I'll be trying to answer as many viewer comments and questions as possible throughout this chat. But today's video is about Duchess Catherine, who is out on top, riding high with the success of the Hold Still book, picture book, photography book, in conjunction with the National Portrait Gallery. Also, the Cambridges have, of course, unless you've been living under a rock, they have launched their own YouTube channel. So a big welcome to William and Catherine to YouTube. I will be talking about all these topics in more detail. And also, the royal family are just quietly getting on with the job, obviously following the sad loss of the patriarch of the family, the Duke of Edinburgh. So we're going to talk about this and lots of other things as well. If you do have any questions, do put them. So first of all, I should explain, I suppose, why I've not been doing as many live chats. It's hay fever season here in the UK, and I do suffer from tree pollen. So there has been lots of days and occasions this week where I've just been zapped in terms of just being drained. Today it's been wet and damp, which has suppressed the pollen, thank goodness. So I am back. I don't get all the streamy eyes and things, but I do just feel generally so tired when the pollen count is high, and I get sneezes and I get to sound really nasally. So anyway, we are back. So let's just pop the glasses on so I can actually read what people are saying. Hello to everyone. I can see you all dropping in. I think we have quite a good crowd forming already. So let's just go straight to the first story of the day. Of course, Catherine launching the Hold Still photography book in conjunction with the National Portrait Gallery. So cast your mind back to the beginning of the whole pandemic. So I'm just adjusting my glasses so you can't see as much glare. They are supposed to be anti-reflective glasses. Go figure. Anyway, I asked for anti-glare, and this is what I got. Anyway, we have to make do with a bad situation. Story of the past year, isn't it, really? Anyway, so cast your mind back to the beginning of the pandemic. And, you know, this was something that we, in modern times, have not had to deal with since the Spanish flu. And of course, technology and everything has moved on so much since the time of the Spanish flu. And the National Portrait Gallery, in conjunction with the Duchess of Cambridge, decided it would be a good idea to kind of capture the nation in photography. So, of course, there was a competition launched where you could submit your images, and there was many different categories, you know, serious, humorous, looking at the light-hearted side of the pandemic, if you could find one, the sadness, the strength. There were so many different categories, and there were, you know, thousands and thousands and thousands of applications. They were sifted down until a final 100 images were chosen, which captured the whole breadth of emotions and all the things that people have been throughout the pandemic. These were, of course, compiled and put into a book, which, of course, is being launched now. And of course, Catherine was very instrumental in this project. So it's called Hold Still. I did make a video when the final 100 images were selected. So if you haven't seen the images, just type in Royal Reviewer Hold Still in the main YouTube search, and I think it will come up. If I remember, I'll link it in the description box as well, so you can see all of those images. But it's going to be really lovely to see the images actually in, I suppose, like a coffee table book, a bit like a time capsule. Really, what Catherine's done in conjunction, but by the way, it's not just Catherine, obviously in conjunction with the National Portrait Gallery, is compiled a visual time capsule, which I think is going to be invaluable for historians going forward into the future, but also very poignant for us today. So that's why I think this has been a huge success, because a project like this has not been done during the pandemic. I don't know about other countries, but in the UK, I think this is the only kind of time capsule that we kind of have of it in pictorial form that you can own, you can keep in your house, you can have as like a coffee table book if you want to. And like I say, some of the images are harrowing, upsetting, but there is also some joy, the sense of community, the sense of community spirit, of love comes through in these images. So a big, huge collection of images. It's called Hold Still, a portrait of our nation in 2020. So looking at the pandemic of last year. It is available on hardcover. I'm looking at the moment, at the time of making this video, it's retailing at £19.96 here in the UK. I don't think that has been necessarily discounted at all. I think it is kind of full price. It's currently a #1 best. And it's got 4.8 stars out of 5, with 94% giving it 5 stars and 6% for some reason have given it a 2. I don't know why, seeing as I don't think it's even actually it was only actually out yesterday. So go figure. So yes, now available on pre-order. The publication date was the 7th of May 2021. As it's the 8th, it was obviously out yesterday. And it's got 168 pages, obviously 100 images. So I imagine, having not actually seen the book myself, I imagine there is a paragraph of writing to go with each image, explaining it, telling you who they are. And yes, it's best-selling rank #1 in the cultural studies section, the photography collections and exhibitions, and also portrait paintings, and also #1 in top 100 books as well. So basically, it's almost kind of swept the board, 10s across the board, if you like. So Catherine and the National Portrait Gallery and everyone involved and the people that took the images are definitely, and the subjects of the images are most definitely riding high in the charts right now. Do let me know if you pre-ordered. Do let me know if you've received yours already. What did you think of it? I haven't received mine yet, so I'm yet to actually see, although I know what the images are, I haven't actually seen it in the book form. So just reading some of the reviews that people have put on Amazon. Someone's put, for the memory box for my family. Apparently someone's buying one for each child. This has been such a roller coaster year. Amen to that. Something to keep. Let me read. Yeah, it's something to keep. It is something to keep, to cherish, to remember, basically. So yeah, someone else has put a wonderfully poignant book and a record of a devastating time in history. Someone's put, will be a future classic when we look back on this era, a moment in time captured, beautiful, beautifully heartwarming. Yeah, totally. Someone's put, great job, Kate. Someone else has put, every bookcase should have this book. So I'm not sure if it's available around the world, but from Amazon UK, it is available. So do go and check it out. I'm going to stop here and just go up and see what people are saying. Lucia says, I cried when I watched the video on the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge's YouTube channel. We'll get to that in a moment. Yeah, allergies are terrible, and I'm glad that today I'm kind of feeling okay, because so much royal things have been going on that I wanted to talk about. Lord Jose Enrique Maisnet, I'm sorry, I do not speak. I think it's Spanish. You'll speak Portuguese or Spanish. But thank you so much for your comment. Let's going down again. Lee says, do you have an opinion on Princess usually not posting for the Queen's birthday? Well, not everyone does. Sometimes one family member speaks for the others, but I will just quickly go and check just to make sure that she hasn't posted anything since. Let's just go and check. Of course, the Queen did have her birthday. No, she's posted pictures of Jack with August, their son, who is wearing an adorable, cute little jacket with August on. If you haven't seen this, you can go to Princess Eugenie's Instagram. So there is a really cute photograph of Jack with August. looking really cute. He is a cutie. I think there are some more pictures as well. Let me just go on again. Another one. Yeah. So just some really cute. She does post some really cute photographs, but no, she did not post anything for the Queen's birthday. But I wouldn't really particularly look into anything of that nature. Perhaps you just didn't want to make anything public. Not everything has to be public, especially if you are not, you know, a working member, if you like, of the royal family. Things aren't necessarily expected in the same way. Kind of, I suppose, a bit like whenever it's, you know, George, Charlotte or Louis's birthday, the public kind of expect there to be some kind of official marking of that occasion. It's not necessarily the case if you're a non-working royal. You don't actually you don't have to feel obliged to, but I wouldn't read anything into it. Princess Eugenie and Beatrice and all of the Yorks are so close to the Queen, not just in terms of how far they live away from her, because of course they are literally very close to the Queen, but they are, you know, personally very close to the Queen. And I imagine they are forming a huge part of the Queen's kind of structure in her new widowhood, in her new life, I suppose, since Philip. So we know that the family is rallying around the Queen, and Princess Eugenie and Beatrice and Sarah and Andrew and the Wessexes and Charles and Camilla will all form part of that. But certainly the York family unit is very close. The Wessex family unit is very close. And I imagine that, you know, Eugenie would have seen the Queen on her birthday, as probably a few members of the family would have done, not inside, but probably outside, socially distanced. A bit like how we saw before Prince Philip's passing, we saw the Queen photographed outside on that bridge with Charles. So I imagine they've had a few outside, socially distanced encounters since then. Lauren says, love the brooch and tiara. Thank you. It is the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara with a non-royal but still lovely, beautiful, big pearl brooch. Right, I'm going to get to the Cambridge's YouTube channel, so hold that thought. Yes, Catherine did a fabulous job with this one. Really captured the hearts and spirits and thoughts and sadness and in some cases. Thank you. She's just looked on Amazon in the US and did not see the book. Yeah, I'm hoping it might be available in other countries soon. If not, you may have to look on places like eBay, that kind of thing, if you really want it, or if you know someone in the UK who can buy it and send it to you. Let's have a look. And just have a look down now. Oh, so if my sound is cutting out, I have no control over it, I'm afraid. Just try and refresh. Unfortunately, I have no control over it. Lauren says, I love how we get occasional photos of August. I feel that works well. They get their privacy and we get an occasional photo. Yeah, it's not the same as if you were, for example, a working member of the royal family. You can, you know, obviously pick and choose what and how you want to show. Let's have a look. Yes, Marion, it is quite possible and very entirely likely and probable that Princess Eugenie sent a private message to the Queen and perhaps didn't want to make a public display, especially at this time. Duchess of Element says, great news. I now own 2 replica tiaras. Well, I'm glad you do. I think you have the Queen Victoria one already, don't you? And you have the Elizabeth wedding one. Sheila Hall says, it's too bad people always have to compare Kate and Meghan. Yes, which I'm not going to do. I wish they could just be judged on their individual merits. Indeed, I completely agree. Apparently people are getting notifications late. That's bad YouTube. Right, okay, let's move on, because I know lots of people want to know what I think about the Cambridges starting a YouTube channel. Welcome, your Royal Highnesses, to YouTube. Wow. I wasn't expecting it. Let's put it this way. It did kind of come a little bit out of the blue, but when you actually look at their YouTube channel, which I think I have open in front of me here, if you go to the, by the way, there are quite a few accounts on YouTube called exactly the same as the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. So don't be fooled. Don't follow the wrong channel thinking it's them. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge's channel features that kind of photo there. It's the one that's currently got 441,000 subscribers. And it's currently got 2 videos on. So if you're following anything else and you're mistaken, then that's not the right one. The right one is the one that I just showed you. And if you look at the About section, because of course I like to do a little bit of digging, it said that they joined YouTube on the 7th of October 2020. So they obviously intended to have a YouTube channel from at least October the 7th, 2020. This could also have been something they've been thinking of doing for a while. Whether or not that was one of their accounts or just something a staff member set up just to kind of hold, we don't know. But they currently have 442,000 subscribers, which is quite a lot to gain when you are a brand new YouTube channel. They've currently had 3,186,000 views. They've linked to their Instagram, their website, and their Twitter. They have no other channels they're promoting. They have a couple of playlists, multiple playlists, and created playlists. And of course, they have 2 videos. So the first video was posted 3 days ago. It now has 2.9 million views, and it's basically like a welcome to our official YouTube channel. The Cambridges looked very informal, very relaxed. I'm trying to see it. Well, it was either filmed at Anmer or Kensington Palace. It looks to me a little bit more like it was filmed at Anmer. I don't think I've seen that interior at their Kensington Palace apartment. I could be wrong, but I'm going to take a stab at saying it's probably Anmer. They looked very relaxed. I think Catherine kind of joked with William not to roll his R's. And by the way, I've said this for a while now. Catherine, when you listen to William's voice, his speaking voice, and Catherine's voice is more posh than William. There, I've said it. It really is. Catherine is actually better spoken than William is. I've seen a few examples where William has kind of dropped some sounds and kind of speaks a lot more normal. Catherine is the one that kind of speaks a little bit more posh, if you like. But they looked very relaxed. They were kind of joking, you know, that we're on camera, everything's being recorded. So it seems like it's going to be a good channel. I have said for a while now, if you've been following, I'll take these off. If you're following my YouTube channel for a while now, I've said that I think the royal family can do this kind of thing. They have embraced social media. The Queen, you know, obviously joined Twitter. I think was the first social media she joined, Twitter and Facebook. Then obviously Instagram. The royal family has embraced social media. But I've always said, probably for about 2 or 3 years now, that the royal family could produce more of their own things. They could take more of their own photos. They could produce more video content and put that out there, because people consume their news in different ways. I still think there is room for the traditional media, the traditional print and online media outlets. I don't think we're at a point where they should be excluded completely. But I do think that the royal family can put out more of their own things, just to recognise the fact that people sometimes just want to go to the source rather than hearing about it kind of secondhand. I still think there's a need for the media, but I think it is becoming less. People consume it in different ways. Like I said, lots of people now can just go straight to the source. So I'm hoping that we're going to see more produced clips from their tours, from their engagements, more photographs on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. I just think it'll give us a more intimate look and a more intimate access to the royal family. And it doesn't have to be necessarily put out there by the traditional print and online media outlets, who are obviously trying to sell their product, which is their advertising space and all the rest of it. So I'm really happy about this. It also gives me something more to talk about. As far as I'm concerned, the Duke and Duchess can upload something, we can all go and watch it and enjoy it, and then I can talk about it. I can talk about what they've done, what they're producing. So for me, it's a good thing. I'm really happy that they are putting out their own content. I think it's really good. And welcome to YouTube, Your Royal Highnesses. They also posted a 6-minute video shielding Mia. Let me put my glasses on. Shielding Mila, who of course was one of the young girls, a cancer patient, who was photographed rather touchingly, kind of interacting with her dad through the glass, through a window, because of course he was shielding her to keep her safe, and she didn't get to see him for months and months and months and months to give a hug properly. She saw him through the glass, but there is a little video on that. Perhaps there will be more of these kind of individual stories from the hold still coming up, but that now has 531,000 views, so do go and check that out. But no, I'm really happy basically that they've managed to get it. Let's have a look. I can see H London saying no one will stop using Elliot's channel. No, as far as I'm concerned, there is space for the royals to produce their own content. In fact, like I said, it gives me something more to talk about. I can still make videos about everything. So no, I'm happy that they've managed to get it, to be honest. Let's have a look. Just trying to go up to see if I can read a comment. Oh, Lauren, do we think we'll see more members of the royal family get a YouTube channel? Well, there is the main royal family channel, which not to be confused with the ITV one, which is not the official channel. But the royals do have one, which basically includes anything they want to put out. It covers the Prince of Wales, the Duchess of Cornwall, the Wessexes, Princess Anne, Prince Edward. So in terms of an individual one, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see whether or not, Prince Charles might want to get one. I don't know. Maybe the others are just happy to kind of be lumped in all together, so to speak. But no, I mean, if the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, it could be in anticipation of, potentially their new roles in the future as the Prince and Princess of Wales. So it could also be to kind of preempt changes that are going to happen in the future. I'm going to scoot down a little bit. Oh, Lauren says we would never leave you. Well, you are more than welcome. And thank you, Mary, who says I look quite dapper. Thank you very, very much. Dana says I'm not for the royal family being on YouTube, making them overexposed. I think the magic is gone. I need to know what is Will's passion. I hear what you're saying. There is an element of if you see too much, if you lift the curtain too much, and you peek behind it, that some of that kind of magic might go. So I get your point. I completely do get it. I don't think, though, that their videos are going to overexpose them. I think they are going to be still very controlled. I think we are only going to see what they want us to see, but it's going to convey more of their personalities. I think one of the kind of, I suppose, not rebranding, but kind of furthering the brand of William and Catherine is to make them a little bit more relatable. I don't think that necessarily has to be at the expense of lifting the curtain too much. But, William and Catherine, although we've seen them do lots of tours, we know that Catherine is really at home when she's working with children. So we've seen lots of kind of personality, lots of down-to-earth personality. We've seen William with his football charities, with the homeless shelter. So we know that they are human. But I think this is a new way of connecting to a new audience. It's a new way of showing the public who they are, especially perhaps a younger crowd. Whether or not a younger crowd will go looking for this sort of content, I don't know. But it's certainly out there. It's another tool that's going to help to put across who and what they are and what they stand for. So no, there is a risk of being overexposed, but I don't think they'll quite cross over. For example, I don't think we're going to see, cooking with Catherine in her kitchen. I don't think we're going to see William, doing whatever William likes to do in private. I don't think we're going to be seeing a house tour. I don't think we're going to be seeing a live unboxing of something. I don't think they're going to go down that route. I think it's going to be sort of work-based and more towards kind of getting across their personality, I suppose. Right, let's scoot down to the bottom. Hello to everyone who's just joining. We do have 81 people watching. Chelsea says, I love that William and Catherine started a YouTube channel. I think it will be good for their image. Absolutely. Absolutely indeed. Right, okay, moving on. So I'm going to go, I think. No, actually, I'm not going to move on because there was something I wanted to talk about with William and Catherine. So still on the subject of hold still, I couldn't possibly go without mentioning that red coat, that red outfit that Catherine was seen wearing. Let me just, hang on, I'll just turn it around and show you, just so you can see. So what you're seeing Catherine doing here, not only is she looking absolutely glamorous and gorgeous, but she's actually distributing some books. I think this is the Kensington Palace Gardens. Yes, because there's Kensington Palace in the background. So she's leaving some books around the country. Obviously, other people are helping as well. But if you're lucky enough to find one of these books, you can pass it. You can leave it somewhere else for someone else to find. So a kind of real community event. They've joined forces with the Book Fairies, which is obviously about leaving books for people to find and to redistribute for the day, to share copies of Hold Still around the UK. So I don't know if anyone's found one of these copies. If you're watching and you found one, do let me know where you found it and what you did with it. So each copy is adorned with a gold Book Fairy sticker, so you won't be able to miss it, a gold ribbon, and has a letter from the Duchess tucked inside. I wish I could find one of those. I really, really do. And doesn't she look gorgeous? I'm sorry, but does she not look absolutely stunning? The hair, the dress, the makeup, everything just looks absolutely gorgeous. So to make this activity even more special, Book Fairies, the Hold Still judges and participants of the final 100 images are leaving copies in places that gave them hope during the lockdown. That is just a really special, lovely touch. And of course, the book is documenting the unique collection of photographs, and it goes on sale today, but this was posted yesterday, so it's already on sale, and hopefully some people will be getting them. If I can just show you just a little close-up of the Hold Still book from the Book Fairies. This is kind of, can you see it with a little gold ribbon? There we go. So I would love to find one of those. So let me know if you have found one. I'm going to go back and see what people are saying there. Oh, thank you, Mary, who has donated $4.99. Thank you so much. It says, Catherine's red coat was glamorous. Have a blessed day, thank you. Well, thank you so much for your kind donation. Let's have a look. Mary says, I would love to be able to purchase the book here. I'm hoping it will be released in the future a little bit further afield. I'm sure it will. I have no idea what the original print run was. But anyway, let me go back to the royal family, because I wanted to talk about all the work they are doing. So I think I've came off the what I wanted to be on. So let's just scoot back a minute. Yes, so I wanted to talk about the fact that the royal family have just quietly picked up after the period of royal mourning, and they've just got on with the job. No fuss, no, nothing. They've just literally picked up and got on with the job, which is what Prince Philip wanted them to do. Remember at the funeral his call to action? Well, this is what he meant. They are doing exactly what he wanted them to do. So on May the 7th, yesterday, the Duchess of Cornwall tells the 5 Rifles that she is proud to be their Colonel-in-Chief. And if you want to see her, there she is. I'm just doing it really quickly so you can see. I'm just doing a really big overview. But there she is doing a speech. She's out and about. She is really ingratiated, of course, with the 5 Rifles. And any kind of military organisation, any sort of military regiment, I should say, who has a royal as an honorary Colonel-in-Chief or any connection, really do value, because of course they're representing the Queen, and of course the Queen is the head of the armed services, so they really do enjoy having a royal as the Queen's representative, being obviously Colonel-in-Chief. So I'm going to look down again. The Earl of Wessex paid a visit to a COVID-19 vaccination centre in Windsor to meet and thank volunteers and key workers who have been delivering the vaccine to the local community. So the Earl, has been busy. Also, the royal family wished Archie a very happy birthday, as did the Prince of Wales and the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. Of course, Archie turned 2, and Meghan and Harry did share a picture of Archie from the back. So we got to see the back of Archie. It was also on May the 5th, International Day of the Midwife, and the Princess Royal, Princess Anne, was out and about supporting midwives. So basically the royals have just been getting on with it. The Prince of Wales on the 5th was telling the Welsh Guards, who were part of the Duke of Edinburgh's funeral at Windsor Castle, that they did him proud on the day. So again, there's so much royal work that's just literally picked up and carried on. The Queen, on the 5th of May, held 2 audiences via video link from Windsor Castle. So even the Queen picked themselves up, got back on with it, no fuss, no drama, and there we go. Becky says, I love to see the Duchess's fashions while she does different things in London. Indeed. I like pearls too. I think pearls can brighten up anybody's skin. Doesn't matter who or what you are. If you've got pearls on, you look bright and effortless and timeless and elegant, which I really enjoy. So there we go. I think I've covered all of the recent stories. I'm going to hand over quickly to you guys. So if you have any questions or anything you'd like me to speak about really quickly before I go, do let me know. I'll just wait for a few comments to come in. Sue says, hello from sunny Seattle. Hello to you. I love that the proceeds of Catherine's books are going to such great causes. Yes, I mean, it's all for charity. This is obviously non-profit. Non-profit for Catherine anyway. But all the charities and organisations will benefit from it. In particular, obviously, the National Portrait Gallery, which holds many works of art in kind of trust, if you like, for the nation to enjoy. Because in the UK, you can kind of just go in there and have a good old look round. Lauren says, let's hope we see more royal engagements and know the restrictions are subsided. Yes, there will be more in-person engagements coming up. In the UK, more restrictions are lifting every 5 weeks. So we're due to have another set of restrictions lifted soon, which means that people can actually meet indoors rather than just literally kind of meeting outdoors. So yes, we will see more and more normality in terms of royal engagements coming in over the coming months. I think I've answered Sheila's question, just asking about COVID. Castaway says, Kate's so normal and down to earth, but she's passionate about her role. She'll always be her own, even though others think she's just a shadow. Yeah. Catherine and William both, I think, don't need to rush doing anything. there isn't that kind of sense of urgency about them because they know that their royal role is secure, that they are going to have a couple of transitions post being the Duke and Duchess. Of course, you know, when anything happens to Her Majesty the Queen, which we don't want to happen, but whenever it does, they will likely be made the Prince and Princess of Wales. So they're going to have a bit of a role shift there. Of course, William will then be the direct heir when Charles is king. He'll be the Duke of Cornwall and he'll be looking after the Duchy of Cornwall. So that's like the next kind of transitional step for William and Catherine. And then, of course, when anything happens to his father, they will be elevated. Well, William will be elevated to being the monarch, and of course, Catherine will be the Queen Consort. So, with William and Catherine, they aren't just going to stop as the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. They're going to have a journey. They are on a royal journey. They're on a path. So, whereas, for example, you know, the some other royals are kind of just going to be who they are and what they are for the rest of their lives, with the exception of Edward, because of course we know that Edward is going to be elevated to the Dukedom of Edinburgh once, obviously, Prince Charles becomes king and his title merges in with the crown. So Edward will have kind of a step up, but that was obviously pre-planned. He, you know, if he hadn't have gone for the Dukedom of Edinburgh, then he would more than likely have been given a dukedom at his wedding anyway. But all the other royals kind of stay pretty much as they are. But William and Catherine are going to keep kind of going up until they reach the top job. So there isn't that kind of sense of urgency, I don't think, about them. They can take their time to really get to know who they are, enjoy being a family, enjoy raising children, and not having, you know, huge amounts of times away from them. Gone are the days when the royals would go on months of foreign tour without the kids. So they're having lots of time to spend as a family whilst they're young. But basically, we know how hard the royals work into their 90s. You know, obviously, the Duke of Edinburgh was in his 90s when he retired. The Queen is still going. Princess Anne, in a documentary, said, well, you know, she's got certain examples within the family of work. So when normal people would be retired, the royals carry on. So William and Catherine have got time. They've got the advantage and the benefit of having a great amount of time to be able to make an impact with what they do. Michelle says, is Harry's military duties on hold? No. Anything that Harry kind of achieved on his own accord, he still has, basically. But any of the honorary royal military appointments that he got by being a senior working royal, they have been returned back to the Queen to redistribute where she sees fit. Betsy says, why does Lady C keep putting Harry and Meghan down? You'd have to ask her. What's the latest with Andrew and his status? We're still in limbo. We're still waiting. We're still stuck in limbo, basically, waiting for something to happen. Betsy says, I'm glad the drama can fall into the background. Here's hoping. And Gillian says, England's lockdown's nearly all... Well, we're getting there. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed we're getting there. Right. So I'm going to go now. Hopefully, you've all enjoyed today's chat. If you have, please give it a big old thumbs up. It really does help. Also, it helps the algorithm to push the video out to more people if you leave a comment. So please feel free to leave a comment about anything that I've spoken about today. So thank you so much for watching. Of course, also subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed. And thank you for supporting as well. So that's all from me for today. So have an amazing Sunday tomorrow. It is, yes, I keep getting my days mixed up. But yes, have an amazing day tomorrow. If anything important happens, I'll come on again. Hopefully, I won't be suffering from hay fever next week. We shall see. So from me in Shropshire, mwah, to you all, and goodbye.